Steve Franks. Steve Franks. By the end of this season, you will have directed 5 episodes of the show. You are now a director. Can you tell us how that directing and the work you've done up in Vancouver as a director has influenced your writing and vice versa? And is it okay to use the word vice versa? Does anyone use that word? Okay, all right.
Well, the only reason they let me direct is because they can't say no. And because they have to. So for me as a writer, I realized becoming a director how irresponsible I was as a writer, how expensive our show is, even in Canada, and how long of hours these guys work up in the very cold climates of the city of Vancouver. So for me, it's taught me directing the show, and it's actually a serious answer to that. Directing the show has taught me more about writing than any class I've ever taken, or all the experiences I've had up there, because knowing that you have to make a day with a crew of 50 people that are dependent on getting home, and you know, you don't overwrite, you don't you're very efficient, you only get to the best stuff, and you try to make this tight and good as possible. And before it was all about, I like these jokes, keep them in, they're funny, shoot them. So it was a matter of, I became much more efficient, and most importantly, the directing process for me is, we have a writer's room in Manhattan Beach, we have a show in Vancouver, and for much of it, it's kind of like we're going to visit somebody else's show. And the first time I got to direct, it was the first time I'm like, wow, I'm kind of part of this. It was kind of like we used to ship scripts off, and then magically they would appear on my television a few months later. I really got to feel part of it, and it's one of the great joys of my life.
That's awesome. Serious question. Who up here on the panel can do the best Ukrainian accent?
That would be me. What Ukraine do you want?
Sexy. Do you do Swedish?
That's my territory.
All right, get in there.
Okay, now we're going to go down to the back of the room. Everybody needs to line up one single file. And we're going to serve the left side.
Okay, Roday, Dule. Hypothetical, Sean and Gus are both getting married. Can you give us the first few bars of your best man speeches?
Mine would go something like this. Sean's would go something like this. Tabitha, I'm sorry, what is it? Tammy? I've got bad news. Gus can't marry you because he's already married to me. I still think we should all stick around and drink all of this alcohol and eat all of this wonderful food, but at the end of the night, he's coming home with me. And we're going to sleep in separate rooms.
Any thoughts on the best man speech?
I would say, Gus would say, I guess today is the day we all realize what a cold day in hell feels like. And in the words of the great Arsenio Hall, there's a God somewhere.
Okay, Roday, if there came a time when you guys had to leave the show, who would you want to replace you? And keep in mind, Dule, that Omar Epps is not available. No, not Simon Baker.
David Bowie.
Okay, Kelly Kulchak. This is just a little fun thing. Word association, go. Oh, I guess I don't understand how that game works. So this is to the group, guys. After 5 years of playing the same characters, it's 5 years, so that's what's in, it's like 27 episodes. Are you guys able to find new nuances with your acting and your characters and your roles? You find new and interesting things? And do you guys ever use the word nuance?
I think every year we're finding something new. Every episode. It's especially between myself and Roday, whether it's what or something stupid like that. I mean, there's always something coming out every year. It's like any role you do, as long as you stay engaged in the process and you stay true to the moment each time, you can always find something new.
Right.
I'm trying to retrain my right eyebrow to go up. Got the left down, but I can't quite get the right, but I'm working on it. That's something I'm working on for season 5.
I would say that over time, the amount of times in a day that Tim touches his gun has increased. He loves that. He loves touching his gun.
You put that image in your head, be it whatever you like.
All right, guys, I'm going to give you guys a shot at it to ask questions from the audience.
Who's ever in character? It's definitely not Tim Omundson. It would never, no.
Well, Tim, what, does he like his coverage?
I laugh like a little girl on the show. I can't help it. I'm the worst actor in the world.
It's definitely Tim. He's the easiest to break.
Yeah. And then he starts to go, so then I go. Because the second I feel him shaking a little, because that's when I know he's laughing.
Our fingers have gotten very adept at the quick cutaway. My right corner of my lip will start to go, and then suddenly it's a picture of something else because I just destroyed the tape.
Grin often. So whenever
Laughing
you
with
cut
what?
to grin,
Grin.
but whenever he's grinning, he's actually laughing. And yeah.
This is the first time that we were actually supposed to create a character. But we are welcome, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're funny. I did it.
Okay. Next up, what do we have?
Hi, I'm a video production and theater double major at college, and I was wondering. Yes. I was wondering if days on the set are really as fun as they look on television, and how someone would experience that as an intern, maybe.
Hey, that's always a good thing.
First, become Canadian.
Yes, the days are as fun as they seem. I have to say this is one of the best casts out there. We have so much fun. The crew is great. We pretty much spend 13 hours a day laughing. That's all day long.
But that doesn't mean stop paying us. Wait a minute, you guys are getting paid?
Okay, next.
This one's for James. In the show, you raise your hand to your head, like your temple a lot. Do you do that, like in real life, without like noticing?
I think that's my favorite question ever.
I guess it's a better question for the people that I'm around most often. If I do, I'm doing it subconsciously.
Like in your sleep?
No, he doesn't do it in his sleep. I see him all the time.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't know if I raised my hand to my temple so much in real life, but I have found myself saying versions of what in real life.
All right, next.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Yes, James. Where did you start off acting?
Where did I start off? Well, I went to college in New York, at New York University, and studied theater there. And my first job ever was a half-hour multi-camera sitcom pilot about. This is a great premise for a sitcom. You should take notes. A guy's brother and his wife are killed in a horrible car accident. so the brother inherits their 3 children and has to raise them even though he's only 22 himself. Fox did it, called Party 5. ABC decided they were going to try the comedy version, and it didn't work, and I was back bartending about 3 weeks later.
So I'm just crossing off my sitcom names. All right, next.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi.
Alright, so how many of Gus's nicknames are improv and how many are scripted?
I think a lot of them are scripted now. I think what happened was they started off being improv, and then everyone on our writing staff was like, well, this is fun. We want to do Gus nicknames too. So some really good ones come up now, and we just do the ones that are there.
Do you want to give them maybe a little hint of one that hasn't aired yet?
The one from this episode is the greatest.
Oh, that's a don't be.
Oh yeah, that's a don't be. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's a don't be. Gus's nicknames. What's a good one from this?
From this year?
Oh, what was Imhotep? He comes in peace. This is my partner Imhotep. He comes in peace.
Next up.
Compliments of Todd Harden.
My question is, I've noticed the camera angles have changed this season opposed to the first 4 seasons. I was wondering why you changed the look of the show.
Okay, I have the answer. We changed the look of the show? God, I hope we haven't changed it. Oh, you know what it is? It's the new Sony Red camera that we're shooting
Well,
on.
it's the last two seasons we moved to HD because, believe it or not, we're back in the old golden era of shooting Super 16 when we first started, and then everything kind of moved to 16:9 and HD, and things started to get cheaper for us to be able to do that, and everybody was going to start, broadcasting in HD. So we made the move last year, but we made a camera change from the F23 to the HD Red, if anybody cares.
And the Super 16 that we were shooting on could not capture the marvelous magnificence that is Dule Hill's head.
Next up.
Two of my favorite movies growing up were Luck of the Irish and Model Behavior. As an actor, how do you learn, what advice would you give me, I want to be an actor, about learning to be more selective, or when to know just to fight?
Let me say this about that, Senator. Daddy gotta make some bread. You ever try eating dirt? It's not fun. That means I strap on the tights and the little high top shoes and throw on a, oh no, that's not hard. Can't be cracking that I'm gonna do the darn part, no.